You're listening to the Table 12 podcast. Danny Barr, Paul Marino, and Rob Klein on the other side of the wall behind the glass. How's that, Paul? Is that better?
You're halfway there.
That's a little lengthy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Anyway.
He's behind glass. He's definitely behind glass. Working the board. How about that? I'll just say, in working the board, Rob Klein.
I don't want to be a dead horse. He's somewhere over there. How's it going, fellas?
It's going. It was a nice weekend.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice weekend. I did a lot of yard work. Got a lot done.
Did you?
Yeah, I couldn't stand up last night, but got a lot done.
Well,
a lot of rocks.
It's the springtime.
Picking a lot of rocks.
No, I didn't do any yard work. I have a landscaper.
Listen, you had it and you're going with it.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
I can't wait to see your furniture in a Park Avenue apartment. Paul.
I haven't cut my lawn since 2011.
Damn. The only way I get out of mowing the lawn is to have my Achilles repaired.
Then who cuts it?
There I go, back on third again. You
had a good week though?
Yeah. It was satisfying. I had a couple of sections. I extended my yard. The woods were a little deeper in my yard growing up, and I've cut the woods back. And you find shit my father and other people threw in the woods for 50 years. And but I had this one part that was kind of a mound of rock and concrete from a patio or something from years ago. And I dug that up because I couldn't mow it. So I dug it up and graded it. And then there was another rock sticking out that caught my blade last summer. And I said, I'm going to dig that rock up too. Well, that rock was pretty damn big.
Mm-hmm.
So I chipped it like I was a little rascal doing time for truancy. I took a sledgehammer and a chisel and I just chipped the rock down to below the dirt level and buried it again.
Fascinating. It's fascinating.
This is good stuff,
It's
man.
good stuff. This is almost as exciting as...
Spend a day in my life.
It's almost exciting for me as having the new Big Arch McDonald's hamburger last week. This might top it, breaking the stone.
Well, I got to compete with you. So I'm trying to come up with things.
Well, we had a good St. Patty's Day. Danny and I happened to go to table 12. We couldn't get a seat, but we were there for a little while.
It was standing room.
We stayed a half an hour and went home.
Well, your half hour, which is more like 2 hours. It
was nice.
It was fun.
Nice to see everybody, and
yeah,
still home very early, 6 o'clock or whatever.
It was. Well, I mean, I got there at 4, so getting home at 6 is good.
Well, it was a nice crowd. It was nice people. Everybody was in a good mood. They had a lot of nice entertainment at the Irish Cottage.
And John the Piper was there, and
you know the Piper's name? I didn't know
John,
that.
yeah.
Wow,
I played there for years.
I've
known him for a long time.
You're really wired, and you know the Piper's names. How about the bagpipers? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about the bagpiper, yeah.
Oh, you don't say bagpipe, you just say pipe?
I say Piper, yeah.
All right.
It's called
They had a band there too.
It's called the Pipe and Drum Corps. It's not called the Bagpipe and Drum Corps, but I guess you could. It is a bagpipe.
That's true. Well,
but I love the bagpipes, and I was disappointed on Tuesday that I had to work, and I couldn't be there at 1 o'clock when Morris County Police Pipe and Drum was there because they're fantastic. And Jeff Korger is a piper for them, and I always like to say hi to him. And but I saw it they posted videos of it on the Irish Cottage Facebook page. They had a really good crowd I'm thinking Tuesday afternoon. How good of a crowd. I thought like the weekend was going to be it, but no, Tuesday they were very busy.
Yep.
And that was great to see.
Yeah. I couldn't watch The Quiet Man because it wasn't on any station, and I had it DVR'd, but my DVR was on the fritz. I'm still waiting for the Geek Squad to come Thursday. He's supposed to come. because it was supposed to be 2 weeks ago and they canceled on me, even though they took my credit card number. So
they never showed up.
no, they never showed up. So now supposedly this Thursday they're coming. They recalibrate everything. It's been going on for how long it's going on.
I've spent the last 2 weeks assuming everything was fine for you.
Oh no, nothing's fine.
Do you need me to make a call?
Well, look, I don't know how many calls they took my money already, so I don't know if they're I may have to take this to a higher level. If are you with a higher level, I would involve.
Well,
You got some contacts.
I can be pretty assertive.
You got a guy over there.
I've given them some business over the years.
Well, let's see how we do Thursday. That's the key. No, I don't know. I'm not expecting. I've been dealing with, since we started the show. I've been telling you about the problems with the entertainment center. But let's see what happens, Dan. We could only
and it's kept my interest.
It has
from day one.
It's only hope for the best this Thursday, because I'm very busy this week. I got to go to the accountant on
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah, I got to finish up that this week. I think it's Thursday or Thursday.
I sit at home watching TV at night, just hoping everything's okay with you.
Yeah, it's not. It's been a challenge.
And I've been under the assumption it was.
No.
Now I feel bad.
The only thing I was able to do was watch Netflix. So, but the Paramount Plus and all that's all discombobulated in the stereo system.
You can't watch Casey Dutton's new show.
Well, it's been on Channel 2.
Oh, okay.
So I've been watching.
Yeah, but you got commercials.
Well, I DVR it and watch it the next day or whatever. But last night it was all messed up because the basketball games went longer, and then 60 minutes, and it was off kilter. That kind of got messed up with that.
You might be the last person in town that has a DVR.
I have a VCR.
I understand. We've talked
and an
about
8-track player. But anyway, speaking of the basketball, NCAAs were in full force this weekend.
St. John's made Sweet 16.
Great game. Excellent ball game.
And from what I understand...
Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Okay. I watched the entire game.
Okay, the kid that scored the winning point, it was the only point of the
game.
He
didn't have any points.
Right.
And he asked for the ball. Let's just back up. St. John should have blew them out. They missed so many shots. They outplayed them the whole game. They were actually up 10 points in the second half. I thought then they missed a couple, and they had an 8-0 run. So they got back in the game. So it went down to the wire, and St. John's had the ball with 12 seconds to go, and they got fouled 3 times in a row to stop the clock. So in the pros, you can't continually foul to give up a shot. After 2, I think you go to the line and shoot free throws. But they had 4 fouls, so they gave up 3 to stop the clock. Now they got the ball with 4 seconds to go, and so Kansas is defending. Now the ball was 4 seconds left. St. John's has the ball. The point guard, name is Dylan Darling. He tells the coach, "Give me the ball," and he just drove it right to the rim. Now 2 things are going to happen. Well, 3 things could happen. He's going to miss the shot, no foul. He's going to make the shot, or he's going to get fouled.
And this is a guy who hadn't scored a point all game.
He was 0 for 4. It wasn't like he took 20 shots, but he missed 4 shots during the game. He's a point guard.
And he still wanted the ball.
He wanted the ball, and then Pitino, after the game, said, "I thought it was a great idea." Then I thought after I told him that, and they're ready to take the ball, wait a second, he didn't score a point all game, Pitino says. He goes, but he went strong to the rim. They were afraid to foul him, and they actually did a good job defending him. And he just threw up a nice right-handed he kind of hooked the ball in off the backboard at the buzzer. So it was a great finish to the game. And St. John's just plays great defense. They're aggressive. And Kansas is a good team. But I kept saying during the game, they missed so many shots that they actually could have blew them out of the building. But it just worked out to be a close game at the end. Very good game. Like I said, they're going to play...
and that's the game that put him into the 16.
Right, Sweet 16. And they're going to be playing Duke next.
Who's expected to win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, Duke has a couple of injuries. I'm not sure. That they can pick Duke off because of the way they play defense.
Well, it's exciting because Duke's not normally a contender.
No.
Jesus, man, they're always in there.
Yeah, and St. John's hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since 1999. That's how long it's been. And Rick Pitino's just a phenomenal coach. So I watch games periodically. A lot of teams got knocked out.
He used to coach Kentucky, right?
And Louisville.
That is Kentucky.
No, he coached Kentucky
Oh, and
he coached Louisville,
which is in Kentucky.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And then the UConn played next, and
They also make baseball bats there.
Yes, they do. UConn played UCLA, and that wasn't quite as close game. UConn was never out of control.
Is that now? That's the boys you're talking about.
Yes.
Is that the team that Bill Murray is?
Yes.
Rooting for his son.
His son is the assistant coach to Dan Hurley on UConn
on the boys team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he was in the stands.
I saw it online.
They won 73-57. They're big. They kept a 15-point lead pretty much the whole game.
And won by 6.
Cadigan had 27 points. Alex Cadigan. And they're going to move on, and they're going to be playing next week as well. And they're going to be playing Michigan State, which is a good team. They're in the same bracket
that are left in the 16. Duke is the number 1 seed, right?
Duke. Purdue is still in it. I don't know who the other two. I don't remember. I don't follow the bracket.
Is UConn a number 1 seed?
No, they were a number 2 seed.
Number 2. Okay.
But they're in the same bracket as St. John's. So if St. John's beats Duke and UConn beats Michigan State, they play in the final, which will be next Sunday. I think they play Friday. Yeah,
the Final Four.
Well, they have a chance. They'd have a chance to go to the Final Four, but they both can't go.
The Elite 8.
Yeah, but they both can't go.
Okay, because they're in the same bracket.
They're in the same bracket. So that was pretty interesting yesterday. I mean, I try to watch a little of it. I can't watch all games all day long Thursday. I can't do that. I just can't. But I tried to watch a little bit of it, and I watched yesterday's important games. So,
well, since you're talking college,
yeah.
The NCAA wrestling was this weekend.
Okay.
And I did watch that.
Right.
From wire to wire.
All day?
Well, it's 3 days. Thursday starts the first round, second round's Friday, and semifinals Friday night, and then the finals. I didn't see the consolation matches. I couldn't find them. But Penn State ended up with 4 champions.
Wow. So a couple lost?
Yeah, there's some upsets. There was PJ Duke, who was expected to win 150, 157, 154, I'm sorry. No, 157, all right. Lost in the semifinals against a guy he beat for the Big Ten championship. And Shane Van Ness lost. That was a huge shocker. Shane Van Ness was undefeated. And he got beat by a freshman from Stanford. And the interesting thing with Stanford this year is Chris Ayers, who's from Newton.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up with 2 of his family members. He used to coach Princeton. He was involved with Princeton wrestling for years and coached their first national champion since the 50s. Took a job with Stanford last year. So this is his second season with them. And already has a national champion and 4 All-Americans. And it's just great to see because he's a local guy, and
right.
Went to Newton High School. So great to see his success. Oklahoma State is coached by David Taylor, who graduated from Penn State, wrestled for Cael Sanderson. Now he's Sanderson's biggest rival with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State sends 3 champions, all freshmen. So they're there for a while.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Did Penn State have the most school wins? Like most from a particular school?
Yes.
They won. They still had the most.
They're the team champion for the 5th year in a row, and I think for the 12th time in 15 years. They're just, like I said, they're the 27 Yankees of college wrestling. Although Oklahoma State holds the record for the most national championships, Penn State's coming up, and right now they're the best team I've ever seen. But David Taylor in his 2nd year coaching Oklahoma State got 3 champions with 3 freshmen. So, and only 1 member of Penn State is graduating. So 9 of the 10 wrestlers for Penn State are coming back.
And how many were in the final? 7?
They had they sent 8 to the nationals, 7 to the semis, 5 to the finals.
So 4 out of 5 won.
Yeah.
So only 1 lost yesterday or the weekend.
From Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
was Saturday night. Yeah. It was, I mean, and the kid that won heavyweight, they call it 285 because heavyweight is not politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
It alludes to someone being fat.
Yeah.
North Carolina State, that was an upset. He beat this kid Bastida, and wins the national championship just like last year. Hendrickson from Oklahoma State won last year and then went into the military. This kid is he's swearing in as a commissioned officer in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to see.
Yeah.
And these are some big boys, and they, there's money to be made now in wrestling with freestyle and what have you. And they're allowed sponsorships now. So it's really, wrestling is really coming on strong. It's a lot of fun to watch. Very exciting.
And that was all on cable, right? On the
ESPN.
Big Ten, right?
No, ESPN.
They showed it on ESPN.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. It's just it competes with college basketball. And March Madness gets all the attention, but the numbers are growing.
I know a lot of people that watch it.
It's just if you don't understand, like I don't watch basketball because I've never played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled,
right? So
I understand wrestling. I understand what they're doing. I understand the strategy. I don't know anything about basketball. I was terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
And, my 5'8", 180-pound stature was not conducive to a good basketball game.
Right.
But it's growing, and Penn State and Oklahoma State have a lot to do with that. And the kid that graduated last year from Minnesota, the heavyweight, Gable Steveson, who signed a WWE contract, I believe. He was a phenom. He was a power. Really brought a lot of people from the outside. And last year, Trump went to the finals.
Wow.
And it was Hendrickson who beat Gable Steveson. That was the massive upset of the year. And he's the one that stood up, put a flag around his shoulders, and saluted Trump because he went to the Air Force Academy, but got permission to wrestle one more year with Oklahoma State. And that's when he won. But he's got up and saluted Trump as commander-in-chief.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's starting to become more popular, but March Madness is tough to compete with.
Yeah. Yeah. Baseball's starting up this week. Opening days.
Yeah. Opening day, Yankees on Netflix. Sucks.
I mean, it doesn't make sense why opening day would be on that. It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's terrible.
Michael Kay's been pretty ticked off about it.
And you know what? And there's no better sport to channel surf during is baseball.
Absolutely. But now you have to completely get out of it. You got to either be locked completely in it.
You can't.
And then, that's the TV that my wife usually watches TV on. So it's not like I can choose the TV,
Well, she's just gonna have to go in the other room.
Well,
I thought you were the captain of the ship, and she was just a lowly first-class seaman.
that's your words. I didn't say
Oh, that
that.
was Ralph Cramden's
I know
words.
that. I know that. But the Mets opening day is at Citi Field on Thursday, 1:00, and they play Pittsburgh. The Yankees play the San Francisco Giants, by the way.
Really, they're starting the season interleague.
Yep.
Stupid.
Well, they're playing. I believe they play Seattle after San
They do.
Francisco,
Yeah.
and then they come home. I think their home opener is they play the Marlins. Yeah, that's their first
Yeah.
set of home games. But if opening day used to be a big deal. I mean, I went to 10 straight opening days from '86 to '90.
The home opener.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I. I went. I
It
went
used to
3
be
years.
good. I mean, and it was very rarely. Out of the 10 I went to, it was only one good day. The first day I went 85. I never forget it because Billy Martin was the manager, and Jack Clark was just signed from the Giants, and the weather was gorgeous. This is great. I want to go every year, and that was the last good year, 85, and then
the
every
weather
year
always sucks.
froze.
And 1 year it snowed.
Oh yeah, it snowed in '96
I
opening
remember
day.
we were there, and home opener was always on a Monday, and then they didn't play on Tuesday,
Right.
just in case something happened on Monday.
They still do that.
And I remember getting there and hanging out in the parking lot, just pouring rain. And we just kept waiting. And then they finally called it. And I had to call work and say,
You're going back the next day.
I'm not coming in tomorrow either.
Yeah. Yep.
But I remember sitting on the steps of the stadium club watching it snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so baseball's starting up. I'm not going to make any predictions right now. I know that the Yankees are going to be okay. They're going to be decent. I think their pitching's pretty strong, but I think that they got some guys in the minor leagues that are getting blocked, especially by the Trent Grisham signing. This guy Spencer Jones down there should be on a big club, and I'm just hoping they don't trade him. I hope Hal Steinbrenner tells us Cashman. And there's another player, Lombard Jr., who's a shortstop, who's going to be really good. Those two players for me would be untouchable, and because I'm not sure that Volpe, long term, he's going to be the answer. But we wait and see. I mean, the Mets have a decent lineup. They made a lot of changes, but whether it's going to transform to the field, I don't know. But it's a long season. There's no sense getting into it until it starts. But I got to tell you, I just have to wrap up since we missed it. This WBC thing. Just I'm not going to deep dive into it too much because it's a week over. It ended last week. I mean, Venezuela beat the United States 3-2.
Yep.
And the things that I took out of it, well, first of all, they lost because our hitters didn't hit. They didn't hit. So
I
Venezuela
believe the
played
key
well.
to winning is scoring runs.
Yes, they didn't score enough runs. Harper tied the game up in the eighth inning. And see, here's what happened besides them not hitting. There's too many restrictions from the other teams. They talk to the manager. They don't want this guy playing too. They're worried about their arms not being stretched out where they're going to lose them for the season. They get hurt or something. It's totally understandable. I think that they should play this like they did with the NHL hockey players that went to the Olympics. You play a few double headers in the first part of the season, okay, to double up some games, even if they're day night because they don't want to lose the gate. God forbid the owners don't make all the money. Close it down for 2 weeks, and play this WBC in what an All-Star game would be. They already closed it down for one because of the All-Star game. Close it down an extra week. Now you have all your complement of pitchers. There's no restrictions. They're already in mid-season form. They get one start or two starts in the WBC and the relievers. There's no restrictions, and they wouldn't have to worry about them not being ready to pitch. Now you got your full complement of players, and let's see what we do now. Because, I think these other teams, the European teams, have a little bit of advantage that aren't playing. There's a lot of major league players on Venezuela and the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, all those teams. But some of them that don't play, there's no restrictions on them. I don't remember too many restrictions on the other teams. If they play it within a 2-week period in the middle of the season, I think you'd get a better result, and I think it'd be more interesting, like the Olympics were with the NHL players in the middle of the season when they shut it down. So we don't have to worry about it for 3 years. So I just wanted to tie that together and just move on from that. So
I don't even know where I'm going to be in 3 years.
well, I guess really none of us do we?
No.
But that just wraps up the baseball. We'll see what happens. What else you got, Dan? I mean, some things going on, current events. I'm not going to talk about basketball and hockey.
Valspar was this weekend, and what made it interesting was Fitzpatrick, who lost last week the Tournament Players Championship by bogey in the 18th. This week, birdied the 18th to win the tournament. So,
Okay.
yeah, so that was great to see. And then this coming week is the Houston Open, and then 2 weeks is the Masters.
Now, the NASCAR driver, Michael Jordan's won again.
Rob?
Yeah, Tyler Reddick won again at Darlington.
So he's got 4 wins in the first month, and the month ain't over yet.
Yeah, out of 5 races, he's won 4.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
And Michael Jordan's cleaning up again. He's winning all these races.
He's going to have more NASCAR wins than NBA championships.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into the Knicks again with the playoffs. With the NCAA and stuff, that'll be over by the time we start talking about them. Playoffs are coming, and the Rangers they're not going to make it. If you want to.
Well, the Knicks are a half a game out in the East, and they're playing the New Orleans Pelicans,
Right.
which is a terrible team. So there you go.
Well, they got to keep their seeding. If they could finish second, that'd be great because then they get two home rounds in the playoffs.
Well, they won't catch Detroit.
No.
There's 10 games left.
But if they finish second,
back.
if they can finish second,
You see me
you're doing a
participating
good job,
in this?
there,
See
bro.
this? You
Doing a
see
good
this?
job. It's impressive. You just told me before you don't even know nothing about basketball. But
I don't.
Okay. And then the
I'm
Islanders.
sitting across from the snake, for God's sake. What am I going to bring to the table on basketball?
The Islanders are fighting their way. They're in the playoff spot. The Devils and the Rangers are out. I just want to leave that there.
And the Nets are out.
No, then that's
They're terrible.
yeah, they're bad.
They were terrible this year. They and then we had a 5-day pause on the war.
Yep.
While they negotiate.
I guess we knocked out enough of their leaders that the ones that might be left might be reasonable to talk to, unless they're stalling again. I don't like the threats. I don't want to see their power plants go. I'm a little bit nervous about this escalation of the war, but maybe he's getting somewhere. He seemed a little more optimistic today.
Well, the other countries are starting to step up, and they're starting to take notice that if this Strait of Hormuz closes, then they're all screwed.
Yeah, I think Italy's going to send send some help over, and she's phenomenal.
What I don't understand is, and I'd love it for someone to explain it to me, why are our gas prices going up?
I don't know, because I thought we were energy independent.
We are, and we don't use anything. We don't import anything.
I don't know why that is then.
And I never understood. I think it's a conspiracy because they raise gas prices while they're still pumping the same gas they paid the lower price for when they got delivery.
Yeah.
So, it seems to be gouging to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it either. I'm not sure.
And I thought gouging was illegal.
It is.
So then why are gas stations allowed to do it?
I don't know.
They've got a couple thousand gallons in the ground and the price goes up, but they're still sitting on a couple thousand gallons that they paid one price for.
Yeah, the oil that if it's causing an oil rise, that oil hasn't been refined yet. That's not even here.
Right.
The stuff that's here is not. So I don't get it, and I don't know why he's letting that happen because I think they're just trying to make him look bad because they want these midterms thing, and obviously it's still aggravating. This Democrats shutting everything down. It's getting to the point where they're trying to sabotage the SAVE Act. They want to have illegal voting. Everything is just off kilter.
They're willing to vote for the ID if they separate it from the rest of the bill. And now I personally think this ganging up of items on a bill is horrible and shouldn't be allowed anyway. If
Yeah, I know,
if you're
yeah.
voting for one thing, vote for that one
I
thing.
agree. I agree.
You know, enough of this pork belly
Yeah.
shit that they
Pork
do.
barrel. Yeah.
Pork barrel, whatever
Yeah.
they call it. But it's just they're using the American citizens as pawns in a power play. And I swear to God, they don't give a shit if something bad happens to the country as long as their party stays in power. They don't care about anything as long as there's, like, in Texas, this kid that's running for the Democrat seat in the Dallas district is a nut job. He thinks there's 6 genders and all this crap, and they're all supporting him because he's a Democrat. It has nothing to do with whether what he says makes
Is that
sense
the
or
one
not.
that beat Crockett?
Yes.
He's just as. I mean, he's just a different version.
He's nuttier.
He's
He's nuttier than her.
it's yeah.
But it's just, it amazes me, though, that no one can. I mean, really, Fetterman's the voice of reason?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that long ago they wanted him out, said he wasn't competent.
Yeah.
But in New York, Caroline Kennedy's son is running. Nadler's out. He's not running again. Thank God. This kid, Jack Schlossberg, is Caroline Kennedy's son. And so he's running for that congressional seat, which I think is kind of neat. But I was reading today, he went multiple times to Maryland or Delaware to volunteer for Biden's campaign and help with their social media, because he's a young guy and, you know, probably pretty savvy on computers. And they turned him down every time. Said, we don't want you.
Really? Because he don't fit. I guess he doesn't fit their ideology either.
I guess not.
He's not far left enough.
I don't know, but he's a Kennedy. But then again, so is RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Look how that went.
Well, because it's the same thing. They ostracize him. They don't agree. He does. You know, if you don't agree, step in line with what they're doing. But I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like Elon. Elon was the golden boy of the Democrat Party when he was making electric cars cool to own, and then all of a sudden
They weren't cool anymore.
he changed his feelings.
Now let's burn the electrical cars.
So we're just going to torch them all now, and key them, and we're going to do it on video so you can all see it, and then the police can show up to your house to arrest you for vandalizing. And Supreme Court granted immunity eligibility to a Vermont state trooper who broke up a protest, and this woman who was protesting filed a suit saying he hurt her wrists, and the state police claimed that he should have immunity against lawsuits, and it held up in the Supreme Court. And they said, yeah. So, and then we have ICE going to help TSA.
So that defeats their purpose of voting down the Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get more ICE, which they don't like. So it doesn't make any sense. They don't make any sense. I don't know how you could vote for anybody over that side, but
But that's pretty much it. Hopefully the negotiations over the next 5 days go well, and we can finally see an end to this. You know, it makes me laugh though when they talk about how long this is dragging out, and it's only been a couple of weeks. You know, when you look at, you know, it made me think, and you know how I put everything in it from a historical perspective.
Hmm.
FDR wanted nothing to do with World War II. Didn't want us in it. Wanted nothing to do with it. In 1940, he was absolutely no, we're not getting involved. It's not our fight. It's over in Europe. Nothing to do with us. And to the point where our fighter pilots were resigning their commissions and going to Canada so they could enlist in the RAF
Right.
and go over and fight.
Mhm.
Right. And it took Pearl Harbor for FDR to put us into that war.
And he.
So
This isn't a whole nother show because I got a whole
No,
this is
no,
a half
no.
hour.
I'm
I'm just saying, like,
no. Let me finish my point.
yeah, go ahead.
You don't have to roll your eyes.
Go ahead.
I know most people can't see you. I'm the only one looking at you right now, but you just rolled your eyes. I'm bringing it back to where we're at now and how they keep wanting to say, questioning whether the threat from Iran was imminent. And Trump kept saying, what are you waiting for? It's been imminent for 47 years. What were you waiting to happen? And it makes me think of FDR waiting for Pearl Harbor to happen.
Well, FDR didn't wait for Pearl Harbor. He was involved
Well,
in that whole
without getting
setup.
into,
Well, that's why I rolled my eyes at you.
I understand that, but I was making a comparison to today.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
We didn't get involved in World War II until Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
What did they want to happen now for us? When the guy from Iran says to Steve Witkoff, we're 2 weeks away from 11 nuclear warheads.
Well, yeah. There's your urgency.
Witkoff gets on the phone and goes,
Yeah.
A lot of people have been talking.
And that's after last summer when we blew up that supposedly we blew up that whole compound. I guess it didn't do it. I guess it still didn't knock them out because they had it
Not
hidden.
entirely.
No,
right,
they
'cause
had-
they had it hidden and buried
And
in
it
the
was
ground.
still, yeah.
So anyway, that's
Yeah.
the only point I was trying to make. I wasn't looking to dig up the.
Well, because we could do another. I'd love to do a half hour on that, but I'm just saying.
I'd have to do a little reading.
Yeah. You would have to.
I would.
Because I'm ready to. I
don't
could do it.
appreciate your tone right now.
You want to go to break? We'll come back. I'll do another 20 minutes on this. But that's all right. We can wait for another show.
All right.
Now you got me all hopped up on it.
Okay. Just in time to sign off.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Bye.